So, let me ask you something right off the bat. Have you heard the noise coming out of Frisco lately? Because man, it's getting loud. Amari Cooper. Yes, that Amari Cooper. The same guy who once torched defenses for us and had a real connection with Dak Prescott. He might just be making his way back to the Dallas Cowboys. And no, this isn't just wild fan talk or wishful thinking. This is coming from inside the building. Nick Harris, yeah, friend of the channel and a solid source, put out an article in the Fort Worth Star-Telegram that's got everybody talking. And if you haven't read it yet, it's worth checking out. But I'll give you the important part right here. According to Nick, there's real interest from within the organization in bringing Cooper back. Not just hypothetical, not just speculation. We're talking actual team-building conversations. And let's be honest, after the way things have gone this offseason, you and I both know better than to ignore these so-called murmurs. Remember the chatter about taking an offensive lineman in the first round of the draft? Nobody took it seriously at first. Then boom, it happened. So now, I'm not brushing off anything. These rumors about Cooper feel different. There's a little bit of smoke. And where there's smoke, you already know the rest. Right now, the Cowboys are still exploring trades for a WR2. That's still very much in play. But guess what? There are also some free agents just sitting out there, and Cooper's name is climbing to the top of that list, at least internally. So let me throw it to you. What do you think? Would you be on board with the Cowboys bringing Amari Cooper back? Yes or no? Drop your vote in the comments. I'm really curious where you stand. And hey, if you want to stay ahead of every Cowboys update like this one, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. This is just getting started. Now let's really break this down. Would Amari Cooper actually make sense in today's version of the Dallas Cowboys? I mean, this isn't the same roster he left behind. But you know what? That might actually work in his favor. First off, let's talk about chemistry. Cooper already has that built-in connection with Dak Prescott. That's not something you can just manufacture overnight. And say what you want about his quiet demeanor, but on the field, Cooper got the job done. He knew how to get open. He knew where Dak wanted him to be. And together, they made plays. Now imagine, pairing that experience with the growth of CeeDee Lamb, who's on a whole different level now. CeeDee isn't just a rising star anymore. He's the guy. And if Cooper comes back, he wouldn't be expected to carry the load like before. He'd slot in as a reliable WR2, the perfect complement to Lamb, taking pressure off the young receivers while still commanding attention from defenses. Plus, let's not ignore the impact of Brian Schottenheimer. Shotty, as some folks call him, has brought a different energy to this offense. He's focused, detail-oriented, and from everything we've seen, he's building a system that rewards sharp route runners and guys who stay locked in. That's exactly the kind of player Amari is. Calm, methodical, but deadly when engaged. Some fans still carry this idea that Cooper was lazy or didn't give full effort. But here's the thing. Not everyone has to be a rah-rah guy to be effective. Cooper's always been more laid back. Doesn't mean he doesn't care. And with the right leadership around him, especially Schottenheimer, there's reason to believe he'd be a solid presence in the locker room too. So here's my question for you. Do you think Cooper's calm, quiet personality is a strength or a weakness in today's Cowboys locker room? Let me know in the comments. I really want to hear your take on this one. And while you're at it, if you haven't already, hit that bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Things are heating up fast in Dallas. All right, let's rewind for a second. Because if we're going to talk about bringing Amari Cooper back, we've got to be real about why he left in the first place. There's been a lot of talk over the years. Stuff about the vaccine, contract drama, effort concerns. But the truth? It might have been way more personal than anyone thought. Remember that 2021 season? According to Bobby Belt from 105.3 The Fan, a guy who's had solid info time and time again, Mike McCarthy had already soured on Cooper. Like, really soured. Behind the scenes, McCarthy apparently saw Amari as a bad apple in the locker room. Not because of anything wild or dramatic, but because McCarthy felt like Amari wasn't buying into his program. And worse, that Amari might have been quietly influencing other guys to feel the same way. Now, whether you agree with that or not, it tells us something big. This wasn't just about money or stats. It was about trust. And McCarthy? When the front office floated the idea of trading Cooper, he didn't resist. Matter of a fact, he basically said, "Yeah, go ahead." Then acted like it wasn't his call. But you and I both know how this stuff works. If a head coach really wants to keep a player, the front office listens. And you know what happened next. Cooper got dealt. The offense looked lost at times without him. And inside the locker room, McCarthy lost some credibility. Guys saw through it. That's the kind of move that sticks with a team. And it makes you wonder how things might have played out if that trust hadn't, been broken. So let me ask you this, straight up. Do you think Mike McCarthy made a mistake by letting Amari Cooper walk? Hit the comments and let's talk about it. And hey, if you're into these kinds of deep dives on what's really going on behind the scenes, make sure you're subscribed. We're just scratching the surface. So here's where it gets interesting. Not just why Amari Cooper might return, but how it could actually happen. Right now, the Cowboys are still looking at the trade market for a wide receiver. They've got their eyes open, especially for someone young who could grow next to CeeDee Lamb. But let's be honest, those guys are expensive, and the right trade hasn't materialized yet. That's where Amari Cooper becomes a real option. He's sitting there in free agency, not signed, and guess what? His value isn't what it used to be. That 547-yard season with Cleveland last year, that might be the best thing to happen to Dallas, because it brings his price down. And let's not pretend. We don't know how the Jones family operates. If they can find a good player at a discount, they're at least going to make a call. Add to that his age, he's 30 now, and the fact that some teams might see him as a risk, and suddenly he becomes one of the most affordable veteran receivers left on the board. And for Dallas, this could be perfect timing. A short-term deal, 1 or 2 years max, to stabilize the WR2 spot while the front office continues looking for that long-term option. Think of it like a stopgap. You're not tying yourself to a massive contract. You're not blocking young talent. You're just giving Dak a familiar, trustworthy weapon to help move the chains and take some heat off CeeDee. It's a smart play, especially if you're not getting what you want in the trade market. So here's something I want to ask you. If Amari Cooper agreed to a cheap 1-year deal, would you take him back in Dallas? Vote right now, yes or no. Just 1 year. Low cost, WR2 roll. What's your move? And if you're still watching, you know you're a real one. Hit that like button so we can keep pushing content made for fans like you. All right, let's wrap this up. At the end of the day, this all comes down to one simple question. Can Amari Cooper still help the Dallas Cowboys win football games right now? And from where I'm sitting, the answer is yes. Look, Cooper's not the same 25-year-old route-running machine he once was, but don't get it twisted. He's still got juice. Just last season, despite all the chaos in Cleveland, he posted the highest average separation he's had since 2021. That means the man can still get open. He just needs the right system, the right QB, and the right motivation. And Dallas? That's all three. Dak Prescott already has chemistry with Amari. CeeDee Lamb is now a full-blown superstar, which means Cooper wouldn't have to carry the load. And Brian Schottenheimer, he's shaping this offense his way. There's a new tone in the building, and Schotty's not going to tolerate the same kind of drama or miscommunication that sunk things before. This team isn't about rebuilding. It's about winning right now, and adding a proven route technician like Cooper on a short-term deal could be exactly what this offense needs to hit that next level. Because whether you love him or have doubts, one thing's for sure. He'd instantly be the second-best receiver on this roster the moment he walks back into the star. So here's how I'll leave it. If the Cowboys don't land a young WR via trade, should Amari Cooper be the move? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's get this debate going. And hey, If you want the latest on every move the front office makes, trade rumors, film breakdowns, and more, make sure you're subscribed with the bell turned on. This is Cowboys News TV, and we're just getting started.